We are live. Live. It's alive.
Hey, how you guys doing? It's me, Sam Martin, over here at the Prescott E-News office, sitting here on the Quad Business Beat with the host, with the mostest.
Hey, I'm Lynette. I'm the host of the Quad Cities Business Beat. Thank you for joining us today. We are joined by Larry Johnston with the Ultra Water Bar in Prescott Valley. Yes, I joke. Thank you so much for joining us today. We also have San Martin with Prescott Night Out, as usual. Hello. And then my husband, Zach.
Hello.
You get the.
I know we're all on today. Can you believe it?
You get the full facial.
Full facial. I'm trying to hide behind the mic here.
Yeah, we'll have to just kind of start putting a thing like a Wilson.
A little fence. Just like a little fence.
You know what we should do is put like a little mustache right there.
A big old mustache handlebar. I'm in.
We're gonna make it happen. Let's do it.
One thing that Quad Cities Business Beat, I never can seem to get that out. We want to promote local businesses. Mm-hmm. So that is the whole purpose of this podcast. So we invite people reach out to us to be guests on the show. We just want to promote local businesses in the Quad City area. This show is sponsored by me. I am your local independent ambassador for Plexus Worldwide. We focus on gut health. So if you want anything gut health related, follow me on my Facebook page at Simply Plexus. I am local, but we ship anywhere. So
let's gut healthy.
Let's gut healthy. Hashtag let's gut healthy.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm serious. We're going to be the hashtag queens and kings.
I know we try to come up with a hashtag every week, something awesome. Different. You know.
Yeah, we're going to find one for you too by the end of the day. Awesome.
There'll be another one by the end of this month.
Yeah,
you got to start writing these down.
Yeah, we should. But in all honesty, I don't think that we've had anybody as important as this man right here to talk about actually the most important thing for our vitals, water.
Water. Yeah. We all need it desperately.
This is pretty cool. I'm actually happy.
I'm excited
about this subject
because I've heard about it. I have not been in the store. Bad me, but I've heard amazing things. So Larry, I know, bad me. So Larry, tell us all about you. Tell us all about water.
Okay, my name is Larry Johnston, and my lovely wife Vicki is out of town, so I'm stepping in, and she's a walking dictionary, but I'll do my best. We've been involved in water for, by the way, she's the CEO and the owner of the Water Bar Health Store in Prescott Valley. And we've been involved in water for many, many years. And she used to be a lab technician in college. And for about 40 years, she's done research on health, water, and all that kind of stuff. We've traveled over Europe, around the country, different countries, on vacation and just doing research. And that's how we got into it.
That's awesome. So there's actually you didn't just open a water bar. You literally had some background to it.
Yeah, we've been involved in a lot of different areas. I was a remodeling contractor for a long time and did a lot of plumbing issues, water, and so we've just decided that the best way to stay healthy is drinking water because after all, our body is 60 to 70% water. Skin's 64% water, kidneys 79% water, blood's 90% water, so we're just one big container.
Yeah. So honestly, if you're putting in yucky water, you're filling your body with yucky stuff.
That's right.
Exactly.
If you have a nice new vehicle and you don't put the right fuel in it, it's not going to run very good. Well, your body's the same way. You got to give it the right stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, some people actually say, well, I didn't die drinking it yesterday, but in most cases, it's not about how you're going to die. It's just how bad it's going to be when you get older. Because just like you said, how you run your car, yeah, of course you can put the gas in it. Of course it's going to go, but down the long run, you need to see what it's doing to the valves. You need to see what it's doing to the lines. I mean, because that's what our body's all about. We're a really big functioning thing. And for you to, do the plexus because you focus on gut health, I went in there and talked to Vicki. She is amazing with the words of advice as far as this is what you're drinking. And then she has the ability to actually put all the waters that you would drink on a normal basis. And then she would do the alkaline test.
Yeah, pH drops.
Yeah, pH drops. Yeah. And then the other one is the chlorine drops. And holy cow, the body's out of control. You want to go ahead and talk about the way that our body absorbs stuff with the what do you call that? That stuff. that stuff they put in our water.
That's
What
science
what they don't put in our water. But the chlorine test. The chlorine test is something that I would love for you to go ahead and chat about. You know how when you put the 2 fingers in there and it absorbs all of that.
Oh yeah, we dropped some mouths open on that one. We'll take tap water and put it in a small glass of water, and then we'll take OTO drops, which tell you if it contains chlorine or not. And all you got to do is put a couple drops of chlorine in there, and it starts turning yellow, which tells you it's full of chlorine. Well, what we'll do is put water in 2 glasses, 1 in each, and then we'll have somebody put their fingers in and just stir it for a while. And while we're kind of educating people, and they're sitting there stirring the glass, wondering what's going on. And then after that, we'll take OTO drops. We'll put a few drops in that glass, and there's no yellow water. It just disappears. And so we ask people, what do you think happened? Oh, I don't know. It must be magic. Well, actually, no.
No, people.
Your body absorbed that chlorine just like that. So the reason it didn't detect it is because it's in your skin now. So if you're taking a shower, for instance, in chlorinated water, and all the steam in the shower, you're breathing it, it's coming into your skin, because your body is the biggest organ. So
Absolutely.
you just absorb toxins from the air, water, whatever.
So chlorine is in all municipality
Correct.
type water systems.
Yes, and in the summertime, people notice that they can really smell it because they do increase the amount, because warm water brings bacteria.
Sure.
And there's more, there's more they have to kill in the summertime.
Gotcha. So obviously in the shower, we're absorbing all this stuff. What about filtrations on your refrigerator? How much does it actually really get out?
Not much of anything.
Okay.
It's just a charcoal filter,
Oh.
so it doesn't really have the capacity or the ability to do anything really.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. I doing this study. I mean, the reason why I know so much about it is because I did this study with Vicky, and Vicky, she sat down all the major water sources. Your Dasani water, your what is the other one from Pepsi?
Aquafina.
The Aquafina, and then you have your regular Fry's water, your regular Walmart water. All this stuff is put onto the table, and the alkaline is kind of like the level that she tested it from. So let's start talking about the worst alkaline or the worst aesthetic water to the best alkaline water that there is on the market.
Okay. Most water is in bottles, of course. The EPA tests for municipal water, the FDA bottled water. And ever notice that you can go to a dealership and they'll say you're going to sit down and buy a new vehicle, and they'll give you a bottle of water, and it says the name of the dealership on there. So we really don't know what's in it.
Right.
We don't know what is clean, if it's reverse osmosis, if it's tap water,
out of
just
a
filtered
hose.
water, out of the hose on the back of the back lot. You don't know.
Amen.
So
It could be.
it's just, besides that, if you've ever gone by a convenience store in the summertime and there's stacks of bottled water sitting in the sun,
Yes.
well, that's not good either, because it's leaching the plastics into the water, and you can actually taste it. So it's you just have to know what you're drinking. You got to do a little research and just be level-headed about it.
Yeah,
Good to know.
and it's really it's kind of scary in all reality. There was actually something that came out on the news the other day, how Nestle closed down their factory down in Phoenix, and they said, and Nestle said, yeah, all we're doing is putting tap water into the bottles.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I looked a little bit more into our local water system, and
boy.
they will tell you exactly what is in our water, like everything to the T. And it is like, I can't even pronounce that word. Don't get me wrong, some of our body parts need this type of substance in us, but the stuff that they're utilizing to make sure that our water is somewhat, tap water friendly, because, there's ways to go ahead and manipulate that if you want to put alkaline drops in. Is it alkaline or pH balance?
pH balance, yeah.
If you want to put the pH balance little drops in there, it will come back as if it was an alkaline water, so it will actually turn blue. I wish you would have brought that whole little setup, man, so we could watch that.
That would have been a good one.
It would have. You guys don't understand. After that thing, every time I talk about water, and I'm a beer connoisseur, so I'm just like, ugh, I can't talk too much about water because I'm sitting here drinking this beer. And in most cases, there's a lot of aesthetic properties in these drinks that we have.
Oh, sure.
Gatorade, Sprite was the worst. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, you're just going to have to go out to the water bar and watch the test yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, anybody that is familiar with the pH scale, for instance, what you're talking about, the pH drops, we'll just take different waters like Lasani, Aquafina, Arrowhead, and all this stuff. And if you put drops of pH solution in there, they'll turn different colors, of course. If it's on the pH scale on the negative side, it's more orange and yellow, which tells you it's very acidic. And the more, say, tap water is pretty much in the neutral zone, but the municipality puts lye in the water to get it to turn the color they want for a neutrality. But it doesn't tell you whether it's got toxins or anything in it. So that is another subject. But yeah, we do these tests. It really shows people, the acidity of the water, at least in alkaline water, of course, on the pH scale is very purple or deep blue. And you can buy alkaline water in grocery stores, but alkaline water, for example, if you put it in a container, it lasts only so long. The properties of it.
So if you were to put it in a cup or...
Yeah.
Okay.
It eventually will dissipate, over a few days,
Okay.
3 days. In stores, though, they add minerals to it, magnesium, potassium, all that kind of stuff to kind of keep it in the blues area to make it look healthy, and they charge an arm and a leg for a gallon of water. But that's we just try to educate people.
Absolutely. It's all about education. So alkaline water, how do we need alkaline water all the time? Do you notice people notice a difference on alkaline water?
People do.
Or electrolyte water? I mean, is that really a thing, or is it necessary?
We refer alkaline water to more like a therapeutic water.
Okay.
Now, for instance, back when we really got started in the water business, for instance, Japan was the healthiest nation on the planet. Now, they developed alkaline water. They've had it for many, many years. It slowly came to the United States. Now, alkaline water, since it's more therapeutic, you can kind of adjust the pH of the water, and there's different levels of pH, but you can adjust it. It's more hydrating. Actually, if you drink a glass of alkaline water, and you might even get a little buzz because it's hydrating your brain first, and it doesn't really go straight into your stomach. It's absorbed quicker than regular water. So that's a very benefit on a therapeutic level. And besides these devices clean the water better, takes out a lot of the bad toxins, so it is way healthier. But for alkaline water per se, it's only for the drinking. It's not really affecting other water in your house.
Sure. Okay, so does Japan still have the healthiest water on the planet? Or compared to the U.S., who has really pretty healthy water?
Nobody.
Oh, okay.
So Japan, for instance, they had that big nuclear thing that went on over there. Affected all their water over there too. And Japan's under, they have a lot of earthquakes and stuff, so I wouldn't say they've ratcheted down as far as being the healthiest nation in the world. And by the way, back at that time, we were like 48th, and we were actually below Cuba. So that tells you, well, all water in the world is connected. All water in the world is connected. We have, industry, we have, acid rain, all that kind of stuff. So all your water is affected. I don't care where you live.
Right. So let's get back to the water bar. Tell us what you have. Tell us the products you have. What are your options for people? What are options that people have for their whole house, not just consumption?
Okay, we have different products. We have, for instance, one of the prizes we brought today is Body Drive. It's an all-natural energy drink. It replaces Red Bull and all that kind of stuff, Gatorade. and you just mix it with water. It's not doesn't have chlorine. Yeah, it doesn't have chlorine.
It doesn't have chlorine, people.
I'd be like, put it in there. It's in my toothpaste anyway. Where's my pool at? Oh, that's chloride. Sorry. But
Yeah,
still.
it doesn't have caffeine. Anyways, and then we have different products. We have teas, body teas, cellular tea, which cleanses the blood in 72 hours. The gentleman developed that actually lives in this area, and it's. We don't make claims in our store about different products. We just ask you to try it, see how you like it.
Yep.
The body tea, the cellular tea, is actually a great thing. He did develop it for cancer, but the FDA doesn't like the fact that you name something that may be a cure or
Yeah.
a possible cure. So
They don't like those
it's
things.
a great product, and she has some lotions and potions in there also. Everything that's healthy, and we do have the ionizing machines.
Okay.
But our biggest thing is the whole house systems that
Okay.
we have now, and whole house systems actually. Clean the water in your whole house, including your showers, your drinking water,
Okay.
all this kind of stuff. And the systems we have a computer brain, and there's no filters to add, nothing to add. We can install them, and for instance, if somebody comes in and they're interested in the product, we can come out and do an evaluation. And as far as cost, a lot of people do research on Google and all this kind of stuff
Sure.
nowadays, and they go to local hardware stores and they check out these systems. Well, a lot of these systems aren't really the best, and I'm not going to point fingers at anybody, but you want to make sure you have a good system, and there are all kinds of prices and all kinds of claims out there, but the systems we have, people seem to be really happy with the results and our prices.
Good. So what does the system cost, roughly? Or is it part of the evaluation?
Well, to a certain extent, it's a part of the valuation, but we sell them for $19.95, and we actually are running right now a little perk of 1 or 2 hours of free installation, which does not include parts, but it depends on the people's situation. A lot of homes don't have a shut-off in their house. It's out at the street. And so sometimes there are extra charges because we have to tap into the existing incoming water. It has to go through the system and then go through the whole house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people...
So there is a little bit more to it than just taking it out of
Yeah,
a box and sitting it on your counter.
Yeah, it's a system. It's about 5 foot tall and about 18 inches around. They weigh
Okay.
about 250 pounds. There's a mixed media in it because there's no filters to have to change or anything. It's got a backwash system, a little computer head on it, and when it wants a backwash, it automatically does so in the middle of the night and cleans the media, rinses it, and you're good to go again. So this system, we have 1 million gallon system, 1.5 million, and 2 million.
Wow.
Depending on the house
Sure.
number of people. For instance, we did a house, this gentleman, he was in his 80s, and he wanted the 2 million system. So, and the price is not much different between either one. And he calculated his water use, and he said, when I was putting in the system, he said, man, this is going to last me 34 years. So, I mean, it's I
It's a good thing.
You're like, good.
I said, you're good to go then. But
I think he was going for his lifespan, right?
that's right.
He's like, I got 30 more years to go. This is perfect.
With healthier water.
But this assures you got clean water in your shower, all your faucets, and
Laundry, all that. It's all the
yeah,
water coming into your house.
Exactly,
Okay.
and it's has a descaling capability. Also cleans your pipes, not only the pipes in the house, but your pipes.
Okay.
So people really love it.
Awesome. So you said the system is $1,995, and then
Yes.
you've got your deal with, a couple hour installation. And
Yeah.
because, like I said, it's not anything you just set on your counter and it's
No.
good to go. This is a process. So, and what do people notice? How long does it take usually? That's not for everyone. I understand that. how long does it usually take for people to see a difference, feel a difference? How does it feel? You have a water softener, your skin feels different. What are people going to notice when they put this in their house?
Well, unlike this is not actually a water softener,
Right.
but it's a descaler, and we do have a lot of hard water in this area, and so people will just notice that they won't smell the chlorine in the shower, they won't smell it at the kitchen sink, and they'll just notice that there's a softer feel. And we don't really tell them you're going to all of a sudden it's going to be this just miraculous difference.
Sure.
It's just getting rid of a lot of the bad stuff in the water, some of the hardness, and like I say, descaling, getting rid of the smells, the odors, and just.
And then you can just drink water out of your tap.
You can.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
And that's the best
Yes.
thing.
You don't have to buy water.
Nope.
No bottled water. No water
Filter.
jug.
Yeah, all that
No
stuff
water
is
filter.
perfect. And I actually, I'm not saying that I tried this thing out, but I just so happened to have a gallon of water, and I drank one night, and I got hungover the next day, and the hydration process was simply like, whoa, that's so weird. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I try this all the time. Like, oh yeah, check this out, dude. Get all retarded, and then all of a sudden start drinking some good water, then you're good to go. It was actually like, I felt very hydrated, so it was a difference between going into that, feeling of dehydration,
Mm-hmm.
after a night of drinking, and then drinking a nice glass of this water. It was
Real water?
There was actually a difference. So I've done this before, so I have something to attest to it. I actually had a machine that I could put up so I could drink water out, and I never got the machine to work. And I'm just like, la-di-da, Martine's gonna go. And then I just kept on buying bottled water that I thought was alkaline, perfect. But yeah, I kind of sad.
So I have to know though, is this going to help make my coffee better? Because I'm a huge coffee drinker. So that's the important. Everything sounds to get better. Is it going to make my coffee taste better?
I think so. Yeah, actually, you're not going to have all the other stuff in the coffee. The toxins and the chlorines and the fluorides and stuff like that. And I might add that with alkaline water, for instance, people that decide they like alkaline water, it takes less coffee grounds in alkaline water does regular water.
Really?
And I might add also that we have a lot of wells in this area. A lot of people live way out, and they have their own wells. Now for those situations, and we do have a lot of arsenic in this area, and for those situations, we recommend.
He said arsenic, guys.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a real thing. We're not trying to scare you, but it is a real thing.
That's a real problem. I mean, you have some places in Paulden that have arsenic off the charts. So for those people, we can do water tests.
Oh.
We'll test their water, and it's like a $200 charge. And you just can't test for arsenic. It has to be other minerals that are in the water because it all is hooked together. So in order to eliminate arsenic, you have to know what's in the water flow, how many gallons per minute, and what else is in there. So even the good minerals. So we test the water, and we can retrofit systems to people that have really high arsenic. So that system is way different than the municipality system.
Sure.
Because the municipality system, it's regulated, and I don't know if you know it or not, but Prescott has a huge system that actually takes out the arsenic. So, but wells are unregulated.
Sure.
It's up to you. I live on a well, and it's up to me to test it. And
how many people really think about testing their well?
They don't. I mean, when we bought this place several years ago, we didn't think about it, And another thing that galvanized piping is not good either. That's old school, and you do get things off of the galvanized pipes. That's not good for
you
do. So
our whole city system's on this pipe.
Yeah,
which is scary.
Yeah. So, anyways, we can help people in the rural areas too.
Well, and honestly, you have to think about this. We absorb all this stuff. It's settling in your system. Mm-hmm. It's not always being, released out of your system. So all these toxins, these minerals, all that stuff, it just accumulates. So it's better to just start with fresh, good water.
Yeah, there's actually a website that's out there, and I think it's a nonprofit organization that goes in and actually tells you what's in your water, your city water. It's all public information. You just got to go find it. So I did a little test. Once again, I want to educate myself before I start talking about it. So when I went there, she's like, "Oh, check out this website," and I checked out this website. And once again, there was stuff in our water that I have no clue what that's all about.
Is.
And there's another little portion that says, this is what your water is all about, and this is what's in your water, and this is what it causes. So it basically goes into mental health. It goes into physical wealth. I mean, your bones, your organs. And just like you said in the beginning, we focus on gut health. Well, that's the first process of anything that comes into your body is in your stomach. And what you put into that body and stomach is what's going to go everywhere else. So it was really it was kind of sad in general because I first thought about my father. He's losing all these parts out of his body. It's because of what reason? I mean, he stopped drinking at the very young age just to go ahead and take care of us children. And for him to be going through the process of his life right now and taking all these pills and his kidneys going bad and this and that. And I'm like, oh, I felt so bad. And at the same time, I'm just like, ugh, I was just so mad at the same time. But once again, water's life. And we put that on the headliner is water is life, and if you don't treat your body right, it's literally going to go to a very bad process. And some people say, well, I've been drinking water, no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. Well,
It may not be today.
Guess what? You tell me how that's going to work when you're 40, 50, 55, 60, and then we'll go from there. And once again, if you don't take care of your car, new body parts are very slim to very costly.
That's right.
That's right.
So, a system that to start you off with. How much is that little system that you put right next to the sink?
Oh, the ionizer?
Yeah.
Those two are $19.95. And that system, like I say, is only for drinking water.
Okay.
And therapeutic water. A lot of people do like that aspect. And for the showers, if they want to get the chlorine out, we do have shower filters, but you got to change the little cartridge in there. But that again is good for people who live in apartments and that they can't put a whole house system and all that kind of stuff. So that's very beneficial. And but the ionizers are you can put them underneath the counter or on top of the counter, and if you put them underneath, they have their own faucet. And people do enjoy those too. And we do have a smaller one called the Lita, which would be good for RVing, apartment, people in apartments. It has one filter in it, and it does a great job, but it's not as efficient as the big one.
And you got a payment plan thing going on too, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you want to elaborate a little bit on that, if you can't afford the full amount, then I think there is a monthly.
Yeah, we have a no money down, free, no interest for a year, and you can set up. You can do a down payment if you want. You can prepay if you want. They can set it up as a small payment during the year, and so that gives you a whole year to come up and just same as cash.
Yeah, and just think about every bottle of water that you're supposed to drink that on a healthy level is like $2 each.
Well, and that's what I was just thinking. How many people, you go to the grocery store or wherever, and people are buying case after case after case of water. You could use that money towards a payment for a system at your house. You can just use I don't know. I don't know if it's a trend that a metal cup is better than a plastic cup, because I don't know what's trendy, or if aluminum, I'm sorry.
Aluminum cup.
I don't know which is better. But you can actually just go to your tap and run the system.
Yeah, I mean, we sell different containers like this in our store, stainless steel, some are plastic, they're BPA free. And that's
just get a better quality
Yeah.
container.
What is a BP?
BPA.
BPA free?
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, it's a chemical
in the plastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that doesn't leach.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard that aluminum was like that. It doesn't allow any kind of what do you call it?
Aluminum wouldn't be my first choice either. I always refer to my mother's cooking pans way back in the day of aluminum.
Alzheimer's
pans.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't recommend aluminum.
Do you recommend the BPA free then?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. And pretty much everybody's getting BPA free now. I mean, it's just the way it is.
But isn't it nice that we're also wouldn't be filling up our landfill with bottles, plastic water bottles.
I seen a new ad the other day talking about hemp bottles, and hemp bottles are going. They stay on the shelf, but you only have 8 months of shelf life with that, because then it just starts deteriorating. Have you heard anything about that? Is that good for you?
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that one either, but
Well,
hemp
We'll have to look into it.
Hemp is becoming a big deal,
Yeah, it's a big
here
industry.
for now. I
Absolutely.
guess they legalized it so you could actually start growing hemp in the United States. So that might be a big thing coming up.
There's a little something that maybe a lot of people don't realize is when you brought up plastic bottles. It takes over 1,000 years for a plastic to decompose, and I forget the figure of how many bottles there are out there, but there's billions and billions. And out in the ocean, there's gyres, they call them. They're just big. Well, remember years and years ago, New York used to take barges and take their garbage out and dump it. Well, there's a lot of plastic in that, and over the years, all this stuff has formed, and there's gyres out in the ocean that the current just spins. So there's places out there that there's gyres bigger than the state of Texas.
Wow.
And they can see them from satellites, and these gyres are just going around in a circle. And there's just millions of tons of plastic just all stuck together, and there's photos out there, people that have
Plastic
gone out there.
islands.
Yeah,
Plastic islands, yeah.
It's and actually they said there was one guy that actually camped out on the gyre. I don't know what his problem was, but anyways,
Just wanted to show if it was
yeah,
possible.
Hang out.
it's a terrible problem, and there's animals in the ocean that are getting hooked up on all these fishing nets and fishing lines and eating all these little particles of plastic look like plankton and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
there's actually
problem.
there's actually a country that is taking their plastics and their deals and stuff, and they're actually going and making islands with it.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're basically building and adding on with all their trash, and they made it environmentally correct. I guess I don't know if that's true, but I guess they incinerate it, burn it all up, and then they start packing it into the ground, and they start creating islands with it. It's a trip. I'm just like, whoa, because we got tons and tons and tons of trash that needs to be and it needs to go somewhere. So
yeah, that's scary.
we're such a great wasteful country in life.
We are. What's one of the biggest misconceptions about water at your house?
Is it clean?
Because they think because it's clear.
Yeah, you
It's
get a
clean.
glass of water at the sink, and it looks nice and clear, and people just don't think about it. They think, well, the
the
city
city's taking
cleans
care
it.
of me.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We have a lot of aquifers in this town, and what happens is a lot of the water goes to the treatment plant, and it's treated. Well, just think about all the pharmaceuticals people are taking.
They flush it down the toilet.
Flush it down the toilet. You got any left over, they flush it down the toilet. All this goes in the water system, and then they try to clean it. Well, the municipalities, they just can't sit there with the garden hose and clean the dirt off.
Right.
They got to use a lot of chemicals to
Right.
do it. And then they have to add chlorine, and they have to add fluoride and all this kind of stuff. Well, after they clean this water, which is now alternative water, they use it for irrigation, all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't use it all up, so they actually put it back down into the aquifers. So think about that. We're putting alternate treated water now back into our aquifers. Do you think that's going to mix with the so-called good water?
Yeah, you mean they don't just keep it in partitions underground?
There's not holding tanks down below.
They don't
Good
have-
water, bad water.
They don't have door number 1 and door number 2. So
The educational system, oh my gosh, Vicky, is, I'm sorry, I've never met you ever at the place, but I know that you obviously have a beautiful, intelligent wife on this level, and she will start talking about some of the stuff that is like, whoa. And one of the things you were talking about, like, how you get a plastic bottle from the dealerships or whatever, and it has that packaging deal on there? She says that you could put a package on there, and you could basically say whatever you want. Sure. Because there was
Really?
laws.
There's no regulations.
Yeah, there's no regulations saying, hey, this is what needs to be, this is what needs to be a part of. So, yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, if there was a regulation like that, there'd be something on that bottle saying what's in it and all that kind of stuff and phone numbers or whatever, but
Right.
that's just not the case.
It's just not the case.
Yeah, and yeah, and once again, it made me a little bit upset. And all I could think about was my father and all the stuff falling out of his body. Like, oh, you don't need that no more. Your body's not being able to take care of that. But
Right, and
here's
I'm
some
sure over
pills.
time they've had to use more and more chemicals because of all the junk that people are flushing and all that kind of stuff. You know, maybe 40 years ago, I don't know. I have no idea, but maybe 40 years ago it wasn't quite as bad as it is now, but you know, we have more people. I mean, America in general just has more people. So, you know, I'm sure just more chemicals are having to be used to
Oh
clean
yeah,
it.
definitely chemicals, and it's crazy. I think I even actually watched a documentary on the water systems that are in bigger cities, and they were finding in their water they were still getting taste or testing of some of the drugs that we take. So, like, you know, like painkillers and stuff like that were showing up in the water, and basically people with that it's just weird. It's just all circle. This is a big old circle.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about misconceptions at our house. What are some of the misconceptions about your systems?
Price. People think they're too expensive and that they're not necessary. So we have to
Educate.
jump that hurdle and give them education. And like I said, for people with wells, we do a test because they are unregulated, and that really shows people, you know, living proof right there. And as far as the city, you can go to EWG.org.
Okay, ewg.org.
Yeah, and look up the water. I'm saying this a little bit wrong here, but put in your zip code, and they'll tell you exactly what's in your water.
Okay.
In your city, municipality, you know, wherever you live. Just put your zip code in there, and you can look and see what is in your water. And I'll guarantee you, you're
Not going to like what you see.
not going to like what you see.
And then especially well water. I
Well-
mean, you can't, I don't know if you can really look up that because
Yeah,
you're individual,
because-
but,
yeah.
but, you know, if you've had a house that maybe is 40 years old out in the country, you know, it's something that you should probably look at.
Yes.
Call Larry and have him do an evaluation.
So I did a little bit of math, and if you were able to go ahead and put in $3 a day for your water source for the top mount sink thing, you'll be able to cover that for the year.
That's a good point. I mean, that's one of the things she tries to educate people on. They'll come in and say, "Oh, that's very expensive." Well, we ask them, "How much are you spending now for your whole family?" I mean, if you got a family of 4, you're buying gallons and cases of
Cases and cases of water.
bottled water.
Yeah.
Here's your bill. I mean, just replace it.
Yeah, the health factor is what the biggest deal here is.
Well, and the thing, and also, you know, you think about what you cook on your stove. You know, you're cooking pasta. Okay, well, you're cooking pasta in this water. I may not drink water from the tap because I have a filtered refrigerator. But think of like the stuff you cook on your stove. You're essentially infusing water into your food, and if you have chemicals, I don't think necessarily boiling it all will boil it all out. Correct?
It
But
does not.
let's go one step farther. This is the water that's going into our actual, fields of food. This
Yeah.
is the water that's going in our fields, and plus the chemicals of the food for the
Absolutely.
pesticides. So there's a lot of bad things going on in the world. You ready to go and live?
So actually, I wanted to just, if we could get some clarification on like the pricing on the whole home, the countertop, because I try to pay attention pretty closely, and I feel like it kind of got mixed up there. What's the cost of like the whole house? I get there's possible extra cost, but kind of the ballpark of a whole home system.
1995 is
So
what
about $2,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the whole home, that's with tax, and then
Yeah.
there is installation, but right now we're giving a little perk of installation.
Okay.
If it takes longer, they pay the extra charge. And I might add that for people with wells, if they have the arsenic deal, now 1995 won't cover the cost of somebody that has a lot of arsenic. It's a dual system now, and it has to be dual system to eliminate the arsenic. So
So if you're on municipality water, basically it's a almost $2,000 system,
Yeah.
but it covers everything in your house, all your sinks.
Correct.
It starts from the street, basically.
That's correct.
Okay, so it starts
And-
from the street. It's a pretty big 5-foot you know.
Yeah, about 18 inches round,
Okay.
across, a little less maybe. Doesn't take up much room, really doesn't, and it's plumbed into your system. And then if you have a well, like I say, most wells, the pumps on wells there's not as much pressure as a city water, and it has to be a dual system, and it does the whole house just like the city system, only the fact that they have this arsenic in there, which is really hard to get. There's arsenic 1, 3, and 5, and there's a standard of I think it's 0.010 drinkable, and I have one customer his is 1.1, 100 times the drinking limit. So
Delicious.
they have to have a perfect system to remove that.
And then, like he was saying, then the countertop model
That countertop model is
or under the sink.
basically works best on city water. It will work on well water too, but
There's more process to
there's
the
more.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the filters in the countertop units take out a lot of things down to 99.99 non-detectable, like some of the worst. But when it comes to arsenic, that's
Sure.
that
And that
one
cost on that one's
is $19.95.
Okay.
And actually, they do retail for a lot more, but
okay.
we're
And that's not as much installation then. That's
Correct.
just a hookup
yeah,
under your
it's a
sink.
hookup under your sink.
But it does not cover your shower. It does not cover your refrigerator. It doesn't cover
Correct.
any of that. So then the little model for RVs or little apartments,
Mm-hmm.
what is the cost on that one?
That is around $400,
Okay.
and
And it's just small usage.
it's small usage. You can get a cup at a time,
Okay.
which a lot of people
Yeah.
love, and it does do a good job. But it's just only so much you can do.
Sure, absolutely.
It's better, way better than bottled water.
Absolutely.
You actually know what you're
And think
drinking.
about it, bottled water takes up tons of room in your fridge if you want like cold. I mean, there's
I
other
guess
things.
just being around construction, from solar to new hot water heaters and stuff like that, and being part of jobs that we included, home people wanted to include in their package a whole home water system, $5+ grand, and there's always the little cool, oh, you just click it in here, that doesn't, so I did the quick math as well, you're talking like less than $7 a month, because you said the one gentleman was at like 35, 34 years with the one unit, so I went down, I took it down to like 25, it's still $7, like less than $7 a month.
Yeah.
If you, take it all the way out, $80 a year.
Yeah.
I think most of us already spend that in water,
In a
and
month.
and that's for the whole home. That's not. Oh, I'm just getting the glass of water every couple hours.
Well, and you
That's
think
your
of,
whole house.
filters on your fridge are expensive. I mean, they're $30
Mm-hmm.
just to replace, and you're supposed to replace those. I don't know, whatever. But I mean, you just think of the cost that you're spending on all of these items when you could just have great water right from your sink.
And,
Yeah.
and I might add that eventually the mixed media inside will have to be changed, and that could be anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And we do all our own servicing for the customer, and we periodically check their systems. If it comes to the point where the media has to be changed, it's a $300 charge to the customer.
Mm-hmm.
We just take that unit and dump out the old media and put new media in it, and you're good to go again. So it's
But then that's not you don't need it again
yeah.
for another 5 years or whatever.
correct.
Okay, so it's not like
Because-
something you have to change every year. So there's not like this.
Absolutely.
Oh gosh, every year I've got another $300 bill. So that seems really
virtually
reasonable.
maintenance free, and people just don't have to worry about it. And for instance, it has to have electric to run the little computer head,
Mm-hmm.
and if the power doesn't go off, it'll come back at the right time.
Oh, okay.
It's got a program that up to 12 hours it'll automatically go back to the right
Yeah,
time.
and if you're thinking about cost, just think about the cost of your kidney getting taken out. I mean, that right
Well,
there.
it's true. I mean, like I said, all that stuff settles in your organs.
Every bit
you
of
know?
it, like every bit of it. I mean, and also with mental health, I mean, this is all connected together. Whatever you put in your gut is what's going to be in
That's
your brain. It's going to
right.
be in your bones. It's going to be in all your parts. Period. So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Do you know, for instance, when people get so toxic from, I mean, water is so essential to keep your system, your eyes, your nose, your mouth moist, for elimination, for sweating, digestion, all that kind of stuff. It's just critical. And people will drink all this other stuff, Red Bulls and Cokes and 7-Ups. They say it's got water in it, but it's not the same. It's very acidic.
very acidic.
So it's just something that you got to take. You got to take your health in your own hands because nobody else really gives a rip, right? I mean, cancer in this country is just. I mean,
Off
they've
the charts.
spent billions and billions of dollars for cancer research, and they haven't gotten any further now than. I mean, they can detect it. They're
Sure.
good at detecting, but that's about it.
That's
yeah.
right.
And you
Okay.
could reverse all that.
So I'm a numbers person. So even with the exchange of the median every 5 years, we'll go with the smaller number every 5 years. It's still only about $15, and that's going high. It's more like $13 a month.
Yeah.
If you just take that into, it's going to cost me this much with that replacement over 25 years.
Yeah.
Honestly, people, if you're watching this Facebook Live, do your own math real quick. How much water you're consuming or buying those cases or jugs of water at the store, and just do your own little personal figuring, and I'll bet you anything this could really be an affordable thing for your whole house. Think of the showers. Your kids are taking showers. You're taking showers. You're taking in this water that isn't really healthy for us, and this one system could totally make your house healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy house.
I was thinking like how can we like get it to the city? Stop right there at the city and everything that they give us. Let's go ahead and work it.
Make a big version.
But I know that some of our city water system is with galvanized piping. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. But
And that's a big project, I'm sure.
yeah.
I mean, our for instance, in Detroit or Michigan, these big older cities, some of their systems are still wood pipes, and because they're collapsing. I mean, just think about how many
Sure.
years we've had sewer system stuff, and in the past, 25% of raw sewage was allowed to be dumped back into the ground. So. It's just a really intense, critical thing that people. I'm sure you've heard about what happened in Flint, Michigan. Here.
Yes.
By
I
the
just saw an
way-
article on Facebook about it,
Yeah.
and that the Navy has basically wiped away any claim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and so
that's unfortunate.
They got some gentleman up there now that has developed some system that supposedly can help Flint, but just for information, Dasani water comes from Lake Michigan, so you might want
There
to
you
think about
go.
that.
There's a lot of pros and cons with life in general, but this is the one that you could actually stop and help. Seriously, and I've seen a difference. Trying to watch the things that I drink. Obviously, I'm still beer drinking, but
The San Martin 311.
yeah, that's coming out. Little plug in.
Mark 311 beer.
Yeah, that's coming in. That's coming in. But yeah, this type of stuff is real, and the biggest part is how do you fix it? And we do have a place to go ahead and fix that. And the start is to be educated. Second place is go to Ultra Water. Ultra Water Bar. Oh wait, there's
And health store.
a fun fact coming up. I don't know. Are you allowed to talk about the?
Yeah, I am. There's two things
Look
I
at
like
you
to
guys,
mention.
you didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
One thing I like to say, if I can just grab my notes here, I know Vicky just won an award
Yes,
from
I saw
Alignable as Business Person of the Year.
That's
in Prescott Valley.
great. Congratulations.
So yeah, she's really happy about that. And we are in the next few weeks. We're going to be moving to Gateway Mall.
Yay, that's
So-
fantastic.
Yeah, that's way closer than Prescott Valley because I'm in
Yeah.
Prescott. I'm just like,
Where are you going to be?
Right inside the mall.
Inside the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exciting,
And,
you guys.
We're
Do you have the location set? Yep.
Yeah, we're going to have a corner unit and kind of right in the middle, a few doors down from Dillard's.
Oh, awesome.
And we chose that because they're trying to revitalized this mall, and they have a great new owner. And we got a killer deal on leasing the
Great.
space, and it's actually the space is moving ready. A lot of them aren't, and we had to pick out the one we wanted, and this seemed to be the best choice. So we're excited about that, and next few weeks we'll be working our little bacon off to move everything up there.
Nice.
And when are you opening there then?
Well, I can't give you a specific date, but probably within the month.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
March, April,
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
The big
So
word
coming
is
up.
out. They're moving to Prescott, in the middle of Prescott Valley, so people
A
will
lot of
still.
people kept asking us, well, you're too far out in Prescott Valley, so we're a little more in the middle, closer to Prescott, but I think it'll be nice.
When will the
because,
store in PV not be there then? Or are you going to keep it open as long as you can?
we'll keep it open until we, get everything moved.
Awesome.
And,
That's exciting because then you can actually go and see
when we shut that door,
all the good
other
stuff.
will be open. Yeah, and we'll have our products on display. And nice thing about it, it can be locked with the enclosures.
Sure.
People can still look in, and a lot of people walk the mall. Senior
Mm-hmm.
citizens like to walk the mall, so it's going to be nice for them. They can come in and get some water if they want. We'll fill up their water, and we have all the health products there for them to see. And
Well,
And,
we were at the mall this weekend, and my mom said it was really busy in there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of new stores, and it's great to hear that you guys are going to go there. We need to support local and, go to Prescott Gateway Mall and see all these new stores, including Larry and Vicky.
I think it's going to be exciting, and I think they're doing a great job. There's some good-looking companies coming in there, and I think it's going to make a big turnaround.
Well, Roy with Neptune's Paradise said the same thing. There's more people coming in that you don't even know about. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yep, I'm
excited.
excited for the mall to turn around and everybody can stop saying that the mall's dead. I was going to do a campaign saying the mall's not dead.
It kind of has been.
Well, it has been. We need to change it to positive.
It's a fabulous
Until-
mall. Like, we
and-
talk
It's
about it all the time.
awesome.
It's a
Until they
fabulous
hire
mall.
me and the mall is still just kidding. Just kidding, guys.
I think
Okay.
it's all in ownership. It's
Yeah.
all in who runs it and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
it-
advertising.
yeah, it's definitely on that level.
I just wanted to add
Sure.
to that we're on Alignable, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter,
Yes.
LinkedIn, and Vicki actually does a radio advertising with KYCA and Calm, and that's where people hear us a lot.
So currently your location is, tell us the address again, because I know they're going to want to run out and buy some systems even before you move. So
Yeah, we're at 8164 East State Route 89, and we're open. We're closed on Sunday and Monday. On Tuesday, we're open from 9 to 5, and Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 to 5, and on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 9 to 3.
okay, and where are you close to? What are some?
Well, we're right at the corner of Robert Road and State Route 89, and we're just west of Circle K right there at that intersection, across the street from the post office.
Oh, okay.
And if you know where the Happy Parrot is, a pet store right there.
Okay.
We're between that and Circle K.
So like the frontage road kind of?
Frontage Road.
Frontage road off 69. Okay, cool. You gave us your hours. You're on social media, website or just Facebook?
We have our own website, ultrawaterbar.com.
Okay.
And like I say, LinkedIn, social media, Facebook.
Honestly, I know it sounds like it's something that, people, that's like a sticker shock, but really look at your water consumption and the money that you're paying. And obviously all your laundry is going to not have probably all those chemicals and stuff too. And,
Correct.
just think of this as a household, healthy household, from top to bottom.
Well, and just education, something my wife reminds me constantly about is
Me?
that
Education.
healthily, I should be drinking like half my body weight in ounces of water a day.
That's correct.
So think about that. I know I don't do a very good job. I try my best. I know I don't hit that benchmark, but if I'm taking in that much as what I should be taking in, that's just that much more of the, lack of a better word, crap that we're taking in. So.
Yeah.
I personally think, we personally think, that the biggest epidemic in America is dehydration. Because, like I say, we use the car as an analogy. If you don't put water in your body, everything functions in water. Your blood's 90% water. What's that tell you? If you don't drink good, clean water, you're just putting more stuff in your body. The body has to work twice as hard to try to eliminate it. And one point I like to pick out too, people don't realize that if you get so toxic from everything from food to water to whatever, and your body can't eliminate it if you don't consume enough water to get it flushed out, the toxins will get wrapped in
That's
body
right.
fat.
And it just sits
then
there in
it
your,
just
sits there in your body.
wads it up in a little ball and sticks it somewhere, and I'm going to take care of you later. Well,
Right.
Eventually you just come to overload, and then now you've got all kinds of problems. And as you say, down the road you're going to pay the piper.
Yep. And the piper is those huge old hospital bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also you might be losing a couple body parts.
That's correct.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Well, my last question is, how can we help you as a community? How can we help you? Obviously spreading the word just like this, but how can we help?
Well, if anybody that comes to the store and they've got a system or they've tried the water and they love it, just tell your neighbors, tell your friends.
Referrals.
Just refer. I mean, more business is done and by referrals. I had a remodeling business for 30 years, and I didn't advertise at all because it was all referrals. So either I didn't want to spend the money on Yellow Pages back then, like $10,000 a month. You got to be kidding me. Now we got all this social media stuff, but I just did word of mouth, and I was busy all the time. So you have to do the best job you can and be fair with people, and that works. Well, with today, social media, everything, it's so much easier, and you still want to get the word out. You don't want to not advertise with a store like this, but people find out who you are, and if you keep people informed, they'll say, "Yeah, I think I've heard of them," or whatever. But it's their health is the most important.
Absolutely. Anything else, guys?
The health. Ugh, health.
Well, and you
The
can't
health.
go and buy all these great vegetables and all this stuff and buy organic, and then the water that you're consuming's awful.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
It is very real.
You
Take
need a
it full
job?
circle.
Are you looking for a job?
We have the educational value coming in, so this is
Absolutely.
This
This
has
has been
always
a great show.
Yeah, I like being educated about health in general, and I do watch a lot of documentaries on just how everything is in process, and if we keep it up the way that they were going, it's going to be a bad deal. So we got to reverse.
It's going to just get worse.
Yeah, we got to reverse the process, and we got to start doing it now, especially for our own benefits.
Exactly. And I thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh, I think it's
fun.
been very educational. I hope y'all in Facebook land have really put your pencil to paper and figured out, are you spending, 70, 80
I
bucks?
think he's happy that Vicky couldn't be here. Now he got to spend an hour with us on the podcast.
Oh yeah,
He wasn't sure when he got
Larry
here.
did a good job.
Larry
He did a great job.
Yeah, he did. And if you guys really want to watch that video, or if you really want to be educated, you can actually go there.
see Vicky and Larry.
Vicky is there to go ahead and educate you on every level. I actually have a video of that time that she educated me. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, you're more than welcome to. It's on my
Awesome.
personal page, but it was so educational that I've just been educating everybody. Do you guys still have the get 10 free gallons of water?
15 gallons free,
okay.
yes. And also she does do educational classes. Just call the store and find out the schedule. She teaches on how the body works, and it's very interesting because, she talks about water and all that kind of stuff, but the body works, it has a system, and she gets to the point where, if you ever heard the term multiple organ failure, she'll take you right up to that point and why that happens.
Anything else?
No, go get your free water and try this stuff
Yeah,
out.
exactly. Zach?
Do the math.
Just do the
Better
math.
tasting coffee. I'm in.
Hashtag do the math.
Do the math.
Better water.
Do the math. Do the math. Do the water.
You'd be a good guy to take out when I do my estimate. I wouldn't have to sell anything.
That's right.
You're like, break it down.
We're the trio here.
Yeah, we'll math.
Years of sales and having to crunch numbers. So.
There you go.
Anything else you want to add, Larry?
No, I think that's about it.
That's awesome.
It's just been a joy, and like I say, come in and meet Vicky. She's really the brains of the outfit.
Well, you did a good job. You held your own.
She has a mind that just works 24/7, and she's dedicated, honest, and just She enjoys helping people.
Well, that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Okay, well, we're going to sign off today. Thank you for joining us on the Quad Cities Business Beat. Again, if you want to be on the show, reach out to us and we can give you all the deets. Again, Ultra Water Bar, the Healthy Health Store, and they are in PV currently. They are relocating to Gateway Mall, which is super exciting. And again, my name is Lynette. I'm your host, and I am your independent ambassador for Plexus Worldwide. So if you need anything gut health oriented, check me out on @SimplyPlexus on Facebook.
Yes. Thank you guys so very much.
Check you later.
Oh yeah, and we are giving away stuff. So be sure to go to Ultra Healthy Water Bar and come back to the page and like it, and we will draw a winner. See you guys.
Bye.